What's going on? This is your boy Talk with AJ, and I'm back with another video. Alright, man, so in this video, man, I want to talk about some weird encounters I had while being gang stalked. If you're into thought-provoking content like this, like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications. So I think I may have said this in the video. I kind of alluded to it, but from end of 2011 up to 2014, about mid 2014, May 2014, I was essentially homeless. Now, I was in a hotel from time to time, but I spent the time homeless. So I did stay with my family for a month in that time, and in the hopes that they would help me and stuff like that, because I did need them. But during that time, it was more or less they were just kind of bringing me more problems than good. And I haven't seen my family ever since then. Me and my mom's husband, which would be my stepdad, we got into it physically a few times. One time when I was 15 years old, I left that time, and my mom threw a vase at me. And then there was another time threw a glass vase at me. And these are the type of women that's why I say, like, your upbringing matters the most. It can bring you a lot of confidence, or it can bring you a lot of trauma. So this is the same guy that did all that, and then she followed suit. So I came back when I was 20 years old, and I needed her help. 21, and I needed her help. I needed somewhere to crash for a little bit, so I figure out my life. And I knew the vibes were off, because one time my brother came in the house, and my grown brother, he's older than me, came in there. He tried to fight me, or went to lunge at me. So I knew right then and there that, okay, the energy was off. And this is around the time when the gang stalking started, and I was like 3 months in. So I didn't know anything about gang stalking at the time and what this shit was. I knew something was off. So and the rumor out there were some rumors being started. I'm talking about blatant lies that's been disproved. And I feel like a lot of people, they know the lies weren't true, but they refuse to let it go, because it's so bruising to their ego to apologize to me over just keeping the lies going and trying to drum up new narratives in order to just keep the shit going. Because as you know, lies are always more entertaining than truth, right? So they, instead of apologizing and making shit right, they'd rather just keep the shit going and try to find new things to keep shit going. But I noticed that when I went back home for that month, or for that 28 days or whatever, that it was just a lot of bad energy in that house. And there were things that I caught my mom trying to do to me in my sleep. And I was like, man, I got to get out of here, bro. Like, it was just wicked energy and wicked vibes. And on the way out, once again, me and this man fought again. And I knew from that day forward, I never liked him. I never cared for him, because I knew what type of individual he was. He was just taking advantage of my mom. And the moment I met him, I told her that he was a bum. He wasn't going to be anything of substance for you. And you shouldn't want to be with this man. I seen these things in him, when I met him. And at the time, I was 12 years old. And yeah, it shouldn't have been my place to say that. But at the same time, I seen a certain energy on him that's saying, like, this dude is not good for you, Mom. What are you doing? But you know how some single women, they tend to feel like, okay, I need a man around, instead of just focusing on being the best mother she can to the children that she has. She'd rather just have a bunch of men around, different men around at the time, just to feel like to feel validated. Like, I can still get a man, and just neglect us. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, she didn't raise me or do anything for me. I pretty much raised myself. But that's besides the point. So early on, like, I knew, like, signs were there that I was a quote unquote black sheep of the family, and there were signs that I was the chosen one in my family. Like, I was gonna be well off in my family. I'm gonna do the best in my family. And when I recently looked into my family, I was correct, because I see how my family is living now, and how they're together in terms of in one house, and we're in our 30s and 40s. So the fact that they're at home in their 30s and 40s told me a lot. And then there's some other things that happened I won't speak on, but they may have been God. That may have been them getting their comeuppance for the way they treated me and the way they did me. You know what I'm saying? As a youngin, and I meant well. You know what I'm saying? As a child, and am I perfect? No, I've done some things that I'm not proud of, but I'm not gonna. And I would never nail somebody to the cross for making mistakes in their life. We're human. We all make mistakes, right? And that's what they did to me. They kind of nailed me to the cross, and just kind of like, that's what it is, and that's what they do to people that's being targeted. They nail us to the cross for making simple errors in life. Like, we're not perfect. Like, we're just, like, we're just the worst people in the world. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do to people like us, man. They don't want to give us second chances in life. They just put us on these watch lists, these programs, and they kind of just like fuck you and what you stand for, and they treat us like we're not human beings, and we don't have feelings and emotions. Like, just don't care, man. It's just evil and wicked, and I can just imagine, like, as strong as a lot of us are and how much we deal with on a daily basis on a mental and spiritual level, we become just so strong and so stoic to the torment that they try to put us through, that it just becomes null and void, and as far as like its impact on your life. I don't think any one of them could survive a day in our shoes, man, and what we go through, and I'm really thankful and really appreciative for everything that I've been through, and every body that kind of just made things work for me, and kind of just made things kind of how it just made me stronger as a person and as a man. Gangstalking kind of just grew. I kind of grew up as a result. It kind of helped me maturate, and kind of helped me see people for who they are, and kind of helped me grow spiritually, and made my discernment stronger than ever. So when I'm dealing with people and talking to people and allowing people to even become a part of my day, I'm knowing who and who not to allow. When I sense energy off, I completely withdraw myself from you. Even if I gotta talk to you in that moment, I will just keep conversation short and sweet with you. I will not let you get too close to me. I will not let you do any of that. So, like I said, I live and learn. Through my experiences. Prior to me getting gang-stalked, and everything I had to go through with my family and relationships and friends growing up as a youngin', and it prepared me to be who I am today and lock in on my purpose. Now, do I still deal with certain people that kind of take my kindness for a weakness? Absolutely. But you kind of, nowadays, now that I'm an adult, I kind of set the boundaries through communication, and letting you know what I'm going to allow you to get away with saying to me or doing to me. I'm not going to allow you to say this and do that to me. Whether that be just ignoring you or not giving you the energy that you're seeking, but I'm not going to allow you to get or be a part of my day or attempt to ruin my day, you won't get that close to me. Even though, like, when I'm at work and stuff like that, I kind of just set boundaries. Like, you can say and do what you want, but it's not going to mean anything, because I'm not going to allow you to make that decision. I'm not going to allow you to make that decision to make it important. I'm not going to allow you to. You won't get the opportunity to be important in my life. You won't get that opportunity. So I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot about people at a young age, and that's what kind of prepared me and gave me the mindset that I have today. It's just that I had to grow up, of course, and I became an adult, and I learned so much from, my past, and it kind of gave me confirmation that, a lot of this is probably predestined and chosen for me to have this life, because I think the life that I was living prior to gangstalking, it wasn't perfect, but I was out here, just being reckless and stuff like that. Not like illegally, but like I was doing things that wasn't, of God, and that was just like having sex, without marriage and stuff like that, and just living, just smoking and drinking, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. And being gangstalked, it just kind of woke me up a little bit. It kind of made me feel like, you know what, this life is bigger than things like that. That's not of the world. And instead of trying to be of the world, I decided to be instead of trying to be in the world, I just decided to be of it. And I started to look above, stuff like that, and not make that stuff, a part of my day and a part of my life. Like, I have to do this stuff in order to fit in. And that's why a lot of people in this world, and I may make a video on this, but I'm gonna just talk on it briefly in this video. Like, a lot of people in this world is corny. Like, they're corny individuals. They're lame. So that's why you see a lot of people with the money, and they have power, and they get the respect. You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. A lot of people that are good people, they don't have the finances and the money and stuff like that. They don't have that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But they don't get the respect because they don't have the money. They don't get the respect because they don't have the money. They don't have the finances that gets them the girls, and the access to all these doors that people can't get through. And the reason why the dating market is the way it is because it's a lot of people, and that's what the social market is, how it is because a lot of what America does is that they base a lot of who you are and how important you are and what you can have access to or who you can have access to based on your finances, based on your status. So if you have a certain career, you make a certain amount of money, then you have access to these otherworldly things that a lot of us don't have access to. And that's why you see, the social people not being able to efficiently and they don't have the ability to communicate with others because everybody's doing stuff through their phones now, and the world is backwards. And that's why you see a lot of people who I honestly, in my opinion, are lame. They're able to get things that others can't get because we choose not to give our time and sacrifice our well-being for otherworldly things. And that's why I say it's a lot of people in this world that's corny, and they're able to and I'm gonna tie that to gang stalking as well. A lot of those people that participate in gang stalking, a lot of the people that fund gang stalking, they're lame. They're without that money and influence, they would be nobodies. So a lot of them, they show when they get money and power and respect, you see who they really are, and how much and people these people that are targeting you, they can be influenced for little things of material. You know, they can be influenced and be told like what to do and how to move based on, you know, the material things that one possess. That's why they're able to tell people what to do and how to move, aka be where you are and stop what you got going and sabotage your life, because they can be bought, you know. And the people at power control it, man. They control this stuff. They control the world we live in today. That's why, as I say, it's a lot of corny people that's in charge of being gangstalked, and how they use their power to flex their muscles in order to get what they want, while they sit back and waste money targeting and gangstalking you. They'll waste all this money because they have these unlimited resources and access to people who are willing to compromise who they are for little to no money to invade someone's life and torment you and bully you, essentially. But you got to stay strong out there, chosen one and targeted individual. Stay strong, because at the end of the day, you're gonna get yours, and they're gonna get theirs. But this is your boy, Gangstalk Talk with AJ. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications. And I know sometimes in these videos I be yapping, but I get back on topic, right? But y'all be safe out there. Y'all be blessed. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. God bless. Peace.